Hello friends, I welcome you all to the DECODE IAS YouTube platform. Friends, we are about to start, in fact we are about to continue the PT 365 series on Indian polity, and today's topic is elections, laws and their respective amendment bill. Friends, Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 has been passed by the Parliament. That means it has been passed by Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and has been signed by the President. Now, what is this in the bill? What is it about? All about the bill. The bill is all about, it amended the Representation of Peoples Act 1950 and the Representation of Peoples Act 1951. That means the two old fundamental laws on election has been amended to implement certain electoral reforms. Number one, let us understand the existing provisions and the change that has been brought and the area which has been amended. The first thing first, linking electoral roll with आधार. जो आधार कार्ड का नंबर होता है, आधार से जिस तरह से हम लोग बैंक अकाउंट को लिंक करते हैं, उसी तरीके से हर चीज़ अब आधार से लिंक होगी, ताकि एक नंबर दबाया सिस्टम में तो उसकी जन्म कुंडली, उस इंसान की जन्म कुंडली, कहाँ पे पैसा रखा है, कितने अकाउंट है, सब डिटेल्स में पता चल जाएगा. सो दिस इज नॉट अ बैड थिंग, इट इज़ गुड फॉर ट्रांसपेरेंसी एंड अकाउंटेबिलिटी. और अच्छी बात यह है कि इस तरीके की चीज़ों से मिसयूज़ ऑफ रिसोर्सेज भी कम होगा, क्योंकि टारगेट कर सकते हैं हम लोग कि किसको क्या मिलना है विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दी. जब भी सरकार सोशल स्कीम्स निकालती है, सरकार को पूरी डिटेल होगी अपनी जनता की. तो ये जो लिंक किया जा रहा है आधार के साथ इलेक्टोरल रोल को, ये हो रहा है मतलब बाय अमेंडमेंट ऑफ सेक्शन 23 ऑफ द ओल्ड 1950 एक्ट. 1950 के एक्ट को अमेंड किया गया, उसके सेक्शन 23 को अमेंड किया गया ताकि हम लोग लिंक कर सके आधार के साथ. Existing provision क्या है 1950 के एक्ट में? It provides that a person may apply to the electoral registration officer for introduction or inclusion of their names in the electoral roll of a constituency where the person belongs to. After verification, if the officer is satisfied that the applicant is entitled to register to registration, he will direct the officer in charge. He will direct the applicant's name to be included in the electoral roll. This used to be the system. What will happen now? The electoral registration officer may require a person to furnish their Aadhaar number for establishing their identity, number one. Second, if their name is already in the electoral roll, then the Aadhaar number may be required for authentication of the entries in the roll. Third, persons will not be denied inclusion in the electoral roll or to have their names deleted from the roll if they are unable to furnish Aadhaar number due to sufficient cause as prescribed, such as may be permitted to furnish an alternate document prescribed by the central government. So here is a catch. In normal condition, you need to present the Aadhaar number so as to link. Either you are a new voter, then you need to produce that, or you have already registered your name in the electoral rolls for your respective constituency, then you'll have to produce your Aadhaar for authentication. Now, if for some reason you're not able to provide those Aadhaar, you'll not be debarred from including your name in the electoral roll, because democracy is a basic structure, is a basic feature of the Indian Constitution. So what will happen in such situation? You'll be permitted to file an alternative document which will prescribe by the central government. So it will be the central government who will prescribe which alternate document will be sufficient to substitute Aadhaar number just to establish your identity. I think this is quite clear now. Next, qualifying date, let me use this highlighter. Qualifying date for enrollment in the electoral roll. Electoral roll के अंदर enrollment का qualifying date होता है. For example, 1950 Act के अनुसार the qualifying date for enrollment in the electoral roll is 1st January. हर साल 1st January में electoral rolls जो हैं उसके अंदर नाम नए आते हैं. This implies that a person who turns 18 after 1st January can enroll in the electoral roll only when the roll is prepared, revised in the next year. So this used to be a big problem. मतलब कि you'll have to wait for the next 1st January. Now the bill has amended to provide four qualifying dates, that is January, April, July and October, so that none of them gets excluded for the entire year. All right. Now this has been done by amending section 14. So the previous section was 23, where we were linking Aadhaar with the electoral rolls, and then we are increasing the qualifying dates by amending section 14. Next, the gender neutral provisions. See, what happened used to be earlier in 1950 Act, which permits certain persons who are ordinarily resident in a constituency to register in an electoral roll Such person include those holding a service qualification, such as the person who are in the armed forces or in central government employee posted outside India. In such a situation, the person will be qualified as a service voter. Now, what happens in service voter? The person will be allowed to cast their vote through a proxy. Now, that being the case, the wives of such persons are also deemed to be ordinarily residing in the same constituency if they reside with them. Now, Act enables the wife, it enables the wife of a person holding this service qualification to vote either in person or by postal ballot. Now, the bill, which has changed Section 20 of the Act and Section 60 of the 1951 Act by replacing the term wife with spouse. That means, so for example, if the wife is outside India or is, in the armed forces, then the husband will be able to cast the vote. Now, that is how electoral reforms is focusing on the gender neutral terms. Next, requisitioning of premises for election purposes. By amending Section 160 of the 1951 Act, let us understand what is requisitioning of premises. The erstwhile 1951 Act permits that the state government, remember, state government to requisition premises needed or likely to be needed for being used for polling stations or for storing ballot boxes after the poll has been conducted. Now, the bill has expanded the purpose for which the premises can be requisitioned. So, for example, this includes using the premises for counting, storage of voting machine, poll-related material, and accommodation of security forces. That means the point is, whenever the state government is requisitioning some premises, it could be school, it could be college, it could be anything like that, for the election purposes, post-poll, only allowed in case of a post-poll, so as to keep the polling stations, the storing of ballot boxes, etc., after the poll has been conducted. Now, the scope of requisitioning of some property has been expanded. So that's another change. So I believe you have understood all these reforms and the changes. Certainly, UPSC can ask these reform-related issues and the respective sections from the same. I hope this is quite clear now. We will see another video and we'll continue with another topic. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then please do subscribe. Thank you.